beans and grains and natural foods inexpensively and often anyway. But they have flowers already done, and I don't know, there's probably other places. Have you seen them anywhere else?
Harmon's has the sunflower, all the Harmon's, sunflower, all the
okay,
all the guys.
Okay, health food stores.
Yes, food marketplace.
Okay. So you can find them different places.
Usually in the health food area, you look for gluten-free things, you buy those.
Okay, Bob's Red Mill probably is
They're small bags and they're pretty pricey, really.
Okay. If you can grind them yourself, that would be great. The only thing you have to be concerned about is that it needs to make sure that it's an impact or a burr grinder. It cannot be a stone grinder, which is the problem that I have. I have a very old Magic Mill stone grinder, and so I can't do beans in it. When you do run your beans through it, you'll want to make sure that you run some wheat through it afterwards to clean it all out. So instructions on how to grind them are listed here. Using bean flour is just really, really easy. The thing that would be nice about using it is because it would just add a lot more protein, a lot of different nutrients into the things that you're baking. You can add it to wheat flour about 25%. You can make some really quick soups, thick soups and stuff. I had a little trouble at home, but I was going to make a cream of chicken soup, like a condensed soup, and bring it here for you guys to try, but that didn't work out, so I feel really bad about that. But we've made split pea soup with them, with the flour. You can, it just makes things really quick and easy. And Rita Bingham's, this Country Beans book, she's really big into that, making meals fast and easy. And so she's got lots of bean flour recipes in here. And also this Natural Mills and Units, she's done this one too. So that's a good place to go for bean flour recipes. Does anybody have any other questions about bean flour?
Are those 2 books on our order form?
They are. They are. And you can find them in other places too.
I just have a quick story. We've been using bean flour to do gluten-free things, and we made pancakes today with rice and bean and I think some potato flour. Whoa, they were so fluffy and so good. And one pancake here and
Wonderful. That's awesome.
they were really good.
That's excellent. Okay.
Do you know if K-Tech grinders or stone grinders in there?
No, they're not.
They're not?
I don't
That's what
think
I
so. I don't think you can find stone grinders very much anymore.
But any wheat mill is strong enough to do it?
They should be able to do it. You may want to check with your,
Manufacturer.
yeah.
And make sure they're nice. When I try to grind beans, because they're so dry, they're so dry, that they brown them.
Well, and it may be that you can only do a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Too.
And I have to give it a minute to cool off.
Yeah. So,
It's stressing.
okay. Using bean butter. Bean butter is either just taking your cooked beans and then mashing them up and to a puree. I would imagine you could also use the dry beans to do that too. The thing that you can use bean butter for is it can replace fats in your cooking. So like if you're making cookies and it calls for a cup of butter, you could use bean flour for it, or bean butter for it. It's going to have a little bit different texture. They're going to be a little more cakey and stuff. It might be a better idea to just have that. So we'll cut down the fat, add more protein, more fiber and stuff. So that's one thing you can do. You can add liquid to adjust the consistency. We have a couple of recipes that we did. We made some pinto bean pie that we used some.
Oh, I've made that before. Isn't it in your book there?
It probably is. It probably is. So we made some of that. Tastes kind of like pretty much like pecan pie. It's really good. And then we also made some pinto bean fudge as well that we used bean butter with to make. Okay, let's talk about ways to reduce gas. This is the main reason, I think, one of the big reasons why people don't like to eat a lot of beans. Okay. Okay, number one thing, eat beans more often. I'm going to illustrate this with a story. Sorry, I was looking up some information on the internet and I came across this website. Her name's Karen Hurd, and she's a nutritionist. And she had this story to tell. She had a guy come in to her, And he was in perfect health. He didn't have any complaints about any of his health except for that he just really had some issues with gas. And it was just so bad that he just finally says, I can't do this anymore. I need some help. So we went to see this gal and she told him the problem, and she says, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to eat more beans. And he said, what? They give me gas. And she's like, everything gives you gas, doesn't it? He goes, well, yeah, I guess so. And so she put him on a regimen of eating a portion of beans like 6 times a day.
Yeah, you'd be full of it.
Yeah, you would. And then she says, go try this for a couple of weeks, and then I'll get back with you and we'll just see how you're doing or whatever. So he wanted to know why, and I will explain that to you the best that I can. Okay, Melinda, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure that you know anatomy a lot better than I do. But okay, here we go. I could just read this to you, but it would probably be more boring than me trying to spit the words out here. Okay, our body, our liver, and our kidneys help get the garbage out of our bodies. They filter and get rid of things. And so the liver does its job, and then the waste stuff goes with the bile, and it goes into the digestive system when we eat. Now the bile will go through a certain point in the intestinal system, and then it'll get absorbed back up, and then it's recycled and reused in the liver. Again, over and over again. Okay, so that's part of the problem is that if that keeps happening, and we're, okay, let me back up here. Okay, that's where soluble fiber comes in. Soluble fiber binds very strongly to the bile, and so if you are eating lots of soluble fiber, which the best source is beans, and there's psyllium husk, and there's lots of different things you can go look. But if you bind it with that soluble fiber, that bile will not be able to reabsorb into the system, and it will be carried out like it's supposed to. Then your body will make more cholesterol, which is what bile is made of, make new stuff. And so, because if you think about it, if you're constantly recycling it and all that waste is just recycling back and through, you can see why we might get gallstones and get some pretty nasty things happening. So, we want to make sure that our waste system is working well. We want to eat lots of soluble fiber so that waste will go. The other thing that's nice about that is that it also will help lower cholesterol. And I didn't quite understand how that works. They talk about, you always see the Cheerios commercial about, I'm cutting my cholesterol. How does that work?
Body's using the cholesterol to make more bile instead of...
Yes.
Instead of recirculating.
Recirculating, exactly. And it will grab the cholesterol from your bloodstream if it needs to and help lower your cholesterol in that way. So,
the ways your body uses the cholesterol to make hormones, female and male hormones as well. Well, it balances your hormones.
So eat. Really good reason right there to eat your beans. Okay, so the end of the story was that before she had a chance to call him, he called her and said it worked. By eating enough beans through the day, so he was constantly getting rid of the gunk, that it got rid of his
In
gunk
less than
problem.
2 weeks?
Yeah. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it would work for everybody, but I thought that's really interesting. Who knew? Okay. Sprouting your beans before you cook them helps break down those complex carbohydrates and will help reduce gas. Puring and grinding, we already mentioned. Discarding the soaking water, rinsing and replacing it before cooking will help. Chewing your food slowly and thoroughly will help. The digestive process starts in your mouth, and sometimes we're in such a hurry that we swallow our food whole practically. But if we will take the time and really chew our food good, that saliva helps with the breakdown of your foods. So that's important. Okay, building up the friendly flora within your digestive system. Sometimes we have issues with that. If we take antibiotics, they're great. They kill the good bugs, or the bad bugs, but they also kill the friendly flora that's in our digestive system. And we can't digest food without them. And so if you've taken antibiotics, it's always good to make sure that you're eating yogurt or taking a probiotic or an acidophilus supplement to help build that up. Because if we have the proper flora in our digestive system, we'll be able to better digest the foods that we eat. Okay, short-term health. You can buy Gas-X or Beano or something like this. This is just the enzymes that we need. I didn't really talk about the enzymes. There are certain enzymes that our body can make that will help take care of those break down those complex carbohydrates. But if we're not eating a lot, our body's there's no reason for it to make it. So the more we eat beans, our bodies will adapt, and they'll start creating more of that.